Greetings, my name is Matt. This is my 7th stock speedrun for the weekend of January 15th, 2022. I usually do not go over 5 speedruns each weekend, but since this is a holiday weekend, I decided to go the extra mile. If you are unfamiliar with what a stock speedrun is, you can check this video's description for an explanation and also a disclaimer as to its content. One thing to note about that description is that even though it says that speedruns are usually 10 minutes, I decided to use this weekend's bonus videos to experiment with that extended time limit. To experiment with extending that time limit. So this speedrun will be for 15 minutes, with the last 5 minutes constituting Phase 2. Let me know what you think about this new extended version, and let's see what we got to kick it off. Omeros Corporation. This sounds like the stereotypical name that like the evil corporation would have in a comic book. The evil Omeros Corporation. Okay, that's enough fooling around. Wow, you know what? Apparently they're not evil enough, because this is not a good chart. Alright, something happened to them in September to make things blow up in their face, and I want to know what that is. Already, I'm not liking these charts. I mean, I don't like this chart, obviously. I don't like this chart either, because they are continuously failing to turn a profit. This is probably, show me clinical stage. Oh no, commercial stage. They actually have a product. Actually, you know what? I should have guessed that. I should have guessed that just by looking at these, because clinical stage companies usually have long blue bars and no green bars, meaning they are burning cash without bringing any cash in. But no, these guys apparently have products that they're commercializing. They just can't seem to turn a profit on it. So let's see. What are their products that they're having trouble with? Small molecule protein therapeutics, orphan indications targeting inflammation. So I've based on things I've looked up previously, I've learned what orphan means. That basically means that it is a drug that is designated as not for a disease or a condition that is not common enough for enough consumers to be interested in it, and thus is not profitable. So it's given this orphan designation to, I believe, receive additional government funding for that research, since it's not necessarily profitable on the face of it. But obviously, you know, even if it's not profitable, we still want to find, cures for that kind of stuff, because we live in a society. Complement medicated diseases, disorders of the central nervous system, immune-related diseases. It provides Omedria for use in cataract surgery. It also has clinical programs. So it has Omedria, which apparently seems to be what it is commercializing right now, but it also has clinical programs, including this thing, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce, treating this word, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce, and these things, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. Phase 3. Okay, Phase 3 is pretty good. However, I have gotten slapped recently saying Phase 3 is all but certain. With another speedrun I did a long time ago, where I specifically said that it got into Phase 3, and I'm like, that's a good sign, I'm going to give this a buy, and then it all went to hell in a handbasket when it turned out that there was some nasty side effects that they didn't know about, and that was figured out in Phase 3, and it didn't turn out too well. So I'm not going to say here that Phase 3 is a sign of things being all but certain, because that has not worked out in the past. And then they have a Phase 2 clinical trial to treat lupus. Is lupus nephritis the same thing as just general lupus? Is there different kinds of lupuses? I'm not really a lupus expert. I just like saying the word lupus. It's a fun word to say. Lupus. And other renal diseases. Ew. Clinical programs, blah, blah, blah. So it sounds like it only has one thing that it's commercializing right now, and everything else is in clinical or even preclinical stages. That kind of makes sense as to why I'm seeing a chart like this, because usually the money that it's burning through, basically, think about it this way. This blue chart here represents the things that it's working on, right? This green bar here represents the things that it's actually selling. So this makes sense, because it's working on more things than it's actually selling. And turning my eyes over to this side of the screen, I see a whole lot of lawsuits. Why do people... I wonder if these coincide with this drop here, back in September. Encourages Omeros Corporation investors with losses. Apparently they did something that a lot of people didn't like. and they are now getting sued over it. Allegations that Omeros may have issued materially misleading business information to the investing public. Oh dear, that is something you are 100% not supposed to do. Okay, on October 1st, 2021. Oh, you know, does that coincide with this drop? 1 second. Boop. October 1st. So it started sliding, starting September 24th, and then it dropped like a rock on October 1st. But they say that it announced this on October 1st. Which I assume is the lie that they're talking about. You know, I should just read it before, you know, just wildly guessing at stuff. Announced the U.S. food had identified deficiencies. Oh, okay, yeah, that'll do it. So, wait, what did they lie about then? Deficiencies with the company's biologic license application for its drug candidate, this thing, the treatment of this stuff, and this stuff. That's one of the things that it was talking about here. I recognized those words with a lot of vowels. This is what they're talking about, the narsobalugalagbugbu. Which preclude discussion of labeling and post-marketing requirements and commitments at this time. Is this the one that was in Stage 3? That is in Stage 3 clinical... You know what, I just went, before even looking at that article, I went on a rant saying that I learned a hard lesson that Phase 3 is never a sure deal. And you know what? This is another example. It's in Phase 3. It is in Phase 3, right? I'm not reading this incorrectly. That is in Phase 3 clinical trial for immunoglobulin A neurotherapy. Yeah. So this is in this phase for this, but it kind of crapped out. Another example. Another good example that Phase 3, even if it gets there, is never a sure deal. In the treatment of this stuff, identified deficiencies which preclude discussion of labeling and post-marketing requirements and commitments at this time. Company further advised that the FDA did not provide specific details of the deficiencies in its notification, and the company does not currently expect any resolution to occur by the October 17, 2021 target action date. About $5.25 per share. So, what's this other date? October 27th. Was there another drop around that time? Yes, there was. A smaller drop, but a drop nonetheless. So whatever bad news they were probably expecting around this date happened. Let me go back through these articles. November 4th. Falls as FDA asks for... This is October 18th. After more clinical data. Is that what they said here? The company does not currently expect any resolution to occur by the October 17th target action date, which apparently is to provide more clinical data to the FDA, which they did not do. Or rather, that they are asking for more data that they now have to generate. Cell term defined by the blah, blah, in the CRL. In the CRL, is that what you call the request? FDA expressed difficulty in estimating the treatment effect of this and asked for additional information to support regulatory approval. Oh dear. That's not good. That's not good at all. So has it made any statements or any moves to try to get that recently? So down, investor alert, to report a decline in earnings. It's negative earnings. They are, for all intents and purposes, clinical stage. No one gives a shit about earnings. I know I don't. Wall Street analysts say a 102% upside. Really? Explain yourself, Zax. There'll be plenty of upside left. Mean price target of $21.75. Well, you're quoting this price target less than a month after it completely got hammered. So is this price target based on pre-drop preconceptions? Is this price target based on things that people have not even had time to update? That's kind of sus. That's kind of suspect. 4 short-term price targets with a standard deviation of $9.81, which is greater than the price of the stock at that time. Look, I'm no statistics expert, but I'm pretty sure that's completely badonkers. Lowest estimate of $12 indicates a 61. Again, I feel like these numbers are pre-drop. And Zax is a little bit misguided here. Ah, jeez. Okay. Receives $126 million in sale of drug franchise to British eye care company. Is that because they had no choice? Is that because they need money? Do option traders know something about Omeros stock? We don't. Seattle biotech Omeros selling drug franchise and deal valued over $1 billion. That didn't move the price much. Although, what happened here on December 2nd? What's with that big volume spike with, strangely, not a big price in the stock move? Is that this? Did this happen on December 2nd? Yes, it did. Boom. So a crap ton of shares traded hands, but I'm surprised it didn't move the price. I guess it just got people hyped up, but not enough to want to buy it for a higher price. That's very strange. So you know what? Because the price responded that way, I'm inclined to not think this is going to be an overall positive for the company, because the price, the people trading this, all potentially millions of them, do not think that is anything of consequence. Rayner was acquired by CVC Capital last year. Private equity. I don't know what you're talking about. No downside risk. Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, I can kind of see that. When something has dropped so far, you can make an argument that it can't drop any further. Greg failed. These guys are writing novels here. How am I supposed to... No, I'm not reading that. Throwing shade and a lack of news on the CRL, implying OMER is not being transparent or something else nefarious. I'm not seeing a whole lot of positive sentiment here. I emailed, who the fuck is Rayner? Is that a fund? No response yet. Did anyone else notice their total revenues last year was $46 million? Seems legit. No. Are you talking about this company or that Rayner fella? Because this company, yeah, you can point and say, "Ooh, look at these revenues," but then you go down here and say, "Ooh, yeah, but they're not making money," and they apparently have problems getting their clinical stage things approved. And you know, I kind of wonder. This seems like a stock that is rife for possibility for reverse splits. I wonder if they've had that in the past. Oh no, not reverse proxy. I clicked on the wrong thing. Stock split history. Oh, 0 splits. Okay. So that's promising. They're not fleecing investors of money, at least. Okay. Zero splits. Okay, well that's alright. That makes me feel a little better, but not a whole lot. It's very possible they could still do it in the future if it continues to slump. I kind of want to say hold. Let me look at this 1 month real quick. Yeah, I don't really see an end to this downslide, though. They gotta come out with something. They gotta come out with something new soon. Oh, Rainer! There's the Rainer they're talking about. The sale of Omidra to Rainer Surgical Group. So they're selling off the rights. And they're selling off the rights, and they also get royalties. Alright, that's not bad. 50% royalties! That's pretty good. Or payment of $200 million in commercial milestone will receive royalty of 30% net sales from the life from Image's U.S. patent estate. Okay. That's pretty... I mean... That deal looks good on the face of it, sure, but the way the chart reacted to it doesn't make... If the chart had a big positive reaction, if that big spike in volume was accompanied by at least some upward side move in that stock price, I would be inclined to say, yeah, they're trying to turn things around and they're doing good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and give this a buy or at least a hold. But it didn't. Huge spike in volume, price goes nowhere. That is super weird. It's almost as if it's all hype and no substance. At least that's what the investors are betting. And I am willing to go along with them. And you would think that means that I'm going to hit this sell button. And you know what? No, I'm not. No, I'm not, because even though I think that the slide can continue for a little bit, it does still have a lot of legs up on a lot of other floundering clinical stage companies that I see. One, it actually has a product that it's selling, and apparently is selling well enough for another company to be interested in the rights and to buy the rights, for which Omeros now gets a pretty nice payback. Not only in that initial lump sum, but also in those royalties. It's not a bad deal. It also cuts off a bit of overhead in having to deal out the drug yourself. All you gotta do is manufacture it now. Even if you even have to do manufacturing. Maybe they sold the manufacturing rights also. I don't know. But you don't gotta deal anything with, making deals, doing distribution. No. It's all handled off to Ray whatever now. At least I think it is. I didn't look into the specific deals of the agreement, obviously, but that's usually what that means, I think. So there's that. That's one leg up it has on a lot of clinical stage companies. The other leg up it has is that it has a lot of works in the pipeline. It wasn't just that phase 3. It kind of sucks that that's the one that was the furthest along, but it's not the only one. There's a lot of other things that they're working on. So that's the second thing that it has a leg up on. Then that's why I'm not going to give it a sell, but I am going to give it a hold, I think. Because sure, it may continue sliding for a little bit, but I think it can come back. I think it can come back. I'm not too sure when or by how much, but I think it can. And that not sure when or how much makes me not want to hit that buy button. That's kind of the only reason that I'm not hitting that buy button. In fact, just going through the things I liked about it now in my head, I'm like, wow, I'm kind of talking myself into a buy instead of a hold, but you know what? I'm going to stick to a hold. I'm going to stick to a hold for a company that sounds like it would be run by Lex Luthor, called Omeros. We're going to set up a hold for them. And that's all I got. I will catch you in the next one, friends.